What's up, my two-piece fan followers? Welcome back. Back in the chair. Got a same special guest. But it's time to talk this year, what's going on right now, which is college moving. And remember wins and do's and don'ts, because a college move-in is very critical for a parent, but also for a child. Meaning the parents are sending their offspring, first child, second child, third child, whatever, off to school away from them, especially if the child has decided to go away out of state, not stay at home in your home state. Parents will be nervous, worrying during their child is going to be taken advantage of, or if they're going to be able to survive. They're not there to check in on them. But then also for the child, it could be very petrified, nervous, anxious, depressed, withdrawn. So we're going to talk today about the college move-in day, the first day, freshman move-in, do's and don'ts when you get to college. And then we're going to talk about some experiences. So let's welcome back to the show, Dr. Toya.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. So college move-in. I went to an HBCU in Charlotte, the HBCU in Charlotte on 100 Beatties Ford Road over there. Right off of 77 and off of 85, home of the mighty Golden Bulls, where the CIAA road has to come through all the time. And Toya attended
the University of North Carolina at Charlotte, where all the Johnson C. Smith students would come over to us.
Correct. We did do that. But y'all did come to us too. Don't act like that. Y'all did come to us. Y'all didn't stay long, but y'all came over there just for a little bit. Not too long, but we stayed over there a lot.
Yeah.
Because it was fun.
It was nice.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Way nice. Lucas room nice. But let's talk about college move-in. I moved in August 1994 at Johnson C. Smith, and it was just a regular move-in. My parents became empty nesters with me because my sister, 6 years older than me, she went to Johnson C. Smith as well, graduated in 92. So my parents had a 6-year gap. So when I went to college, my sister was already out of college and into law school at that time. So moving out was easy for them. They packed me up the night before, big old trunk filled with towels and detergent, $100 worth roll of quarters, your caboodle, shower shoes, everything known to man that you're going to need. And that trunk was like your purse, your safe space, your safe. And then you moved your clothes in, and you moved in on campus. We didn't have elevators in Sanders Hall, so we had to go up steps. And Lord and behold, I lived on the 3rd floor in the corner suite, which was good because it was big and it was nice. And we had people on campus, student coordinator leaders and people from Greek letter organizations who helped us move in. And then, of course, you had your freshman orientation time and standing in the long line of financial aid to get validated. But you went to a PWI, you probably didn't experience that. But at an HBCU, those financial aid lines to get your validation slip was, horrible. You had to wait on it. But what was your move-in date, if you remember it, and what did you come to UNCC with?
I went to college August of 1993, and at UNC Charlotte, minority students or participants in what's known as the SAFE program, Student Advising for Freshman Excellence Program, which Black students were in. We were able to move in, I think it was 2 days earlier than everyone else,
Okay.
Which was a huge benefit. And I remember arriving in my daddy's Carolina blue Chevrolet truck, pickup truck.
Okay.
With all of my stuff. I had a blue trunk. All of my stuff on the back of his truck. And I remember all of the Black Greeks and other upper class students were there outside helping us move in. Now, we did have elevators.
Lucky you.
In Moore Hall, there was a freshman dorm a legendary freshman dorm at UNC Charlotte called Moore Hall, and I stayed there on the 4th floor. And so I remember it being an amazing day. I was excited. I was happy to be getting out of my parents' house.
Okay.
My parents became empty nesters with me leaving. I didn't think about it like that, thinking now like, wow. They had an older brother who went to the Navy, so he was no longer at home. But I remember it being a glorious day of me realizing the dream of going to college.
And being an adult.
I wouldn't even think about being an adult. It was, I'm going to college, right? And a good number of the people who moved in that day, I am still friends with today. And this August makes 31 years? What is this? 31 years later that we moved in, and we still all are real cool and hang out.
Yeah. So let's talk about that initial freshman move in when you are that ripe age of 18, 19, away from your parents, in a different city, walking on campus with so many different backgrounds and walks of life yourself that you're encountering, having to share a room with someone that you don't know, because back in the day, nowadays, things have evolved to where you get to meet your roommate virtually, or they tell you who your roommate is and you can communicate with them and talk with them prior to moving in. But when I moved in, I didn't know who my roommate was going to be.
No, we did. I knew.
Did you?
Yes, we
did.
Okay. I knew who my roommate was going to be, and I will say she was Japanese.
Okay.
Which was culture shock for both she and I.
Okay. Okay.
It's a very interesting year with my wonderful Japanese roommate.
Okay.
So that was different for us.
Did she stay?
Yes, she did.
Okay. Okay. Very well.
Did I stay? Yes.
Yes.
I did.
You did stay. Okay. The whole year?
The whole year.
Y'all were roommates the whole year? Okay. Unfortunately, my roommate did not stay. She was there for the first part of the semester. And then spring semester, she moved back to Kannapolis, where she was from. And when I moved out in the spring to go home for the summertime, I saw her on campus and we talked, and I found out that she had a baby.
Wow.
So
that happens. Yep.
That does happen when you get to school and you get some freedom from parents, and you just go buck wild. So being a freshman on campus, different walks of life, experiencing things, learning, going to the cafeteria, the certain times you go to the cafeteria, being out late at night, hanging out at the dorms. Then you see these upperclassmen come. You see this band students. You see the football team. You see the basketball team. You see the fraternities and sororities come in, and now you're moving and shaking that first week of school. And I don't know if y'all did this at UNCC, but at Johnson C. Smith, they had a party for the freshmen's welcome pool party given by the wonderful men of the purple and gold of Omega Psi Phi. And that was the time when the upperclassmen were there. That's the first day, but freshmen have been on campus for about a day or two, and they have this wonderful party, and that's when some girls get lost. And I become scared because I don't know what happened. I learned my lesson. Number one, never to sit on the edge of the pool or you will get thrown in. Never walk away from a man of Omega Psi when they're talking to you, because they will bark at you. And my dad is an Omega man. He gave me my talk before he left campus. And at the time, we had a big old plot area for all of the organizations. And my dad walked me past the road chapter, Omega Psi plot. And he said, "You see this plot?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Don't ever go on it. Don't ever look at it. Don't ever walk past it. Because if you do, I will know. And if I find out that you are on this plot, you just don't want to know what's going to happen." And I didn't think he was serious. I ended up on that plot one night about 10:30 with somebody. And that next morning at 6 a.m., I got a phone call saying, "Didn't I tell you not to go on that plot?"
Wow.
Have no idea how he knew. But from that day on, I had to stay away from that plot, or it was going to be curses for me. But some do's and don'ts. Let's talk some do's and don'ts of freshmen from your perspective of then and now, and then from the etiquette doctor perspective. Let's have some of those.
Well, I'm going to shift my hat from the etiquette doctor to
Personal.
To being a college
Educator.
administrator.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do that.
Over 20 years, I saw lots, and things evolved greatly. But I would say for now, some do's and don'ts. One, prior to move in, and this goes to parents. I love talking to parents.
Yeah.
Make sure your child actually confirmed housing. One. So, never fail on the day of move-in. I would say at least a dozen students show up with their parents, and that child knew they did not confirm housing.
But acted like they did.
Or they forgot. And so you get to campus and you don't have anywhere to move into, right? And if, a few years ago, a lot of universities were experiencing tons of growth, and there was no room in the inn. And so can you imagine parents that have come from out of state driving a U-Haul with all these things, and there's no room? So one, parents, confirm that your child, your student, sent back the paperwork and confirmed housing.
And has paid for it.
You send a check. You send a check, the deposit, what have you. That goes along with your financial aid, filling out your FAFSA is so important. I was very blessed and I have financial aid as an undergraduate. My parents paid out of pocket, but that was 30 years ago when college education was really inexpensive.
Very.
But now more and more families are having to get that financial aid. And so make sure you complete your financial aid packet and you do it on time. 3 is that your child is to go to orientation. I know we're past that point, but going forward, go to some orientation, because you learn all these things then, which prepare you for the fall.
Correct.
But then once you get there and you're preparing for move-in, I know I've seen people moving in this week, but you don't need to take everything. Like, I've seen people show up in 16-wheelers. Like, what? You don't need to take everything. Like, talk to that roommate beforehand to see who's going to bring what. Correct. A 60-inch TV, it's probably not going in your room.
But why would you even think a 60-inch TV is appropriate?
Because you have it at home, right? You got a lot of this generation of kids. You have families who only have one child, and so they've grown up as an only child. You have that TV in your room. And you have a 60-inch. That's kind of normal these days, right? But that probably is not going on that central block wall.
No.
In your first year dorm.
No.
Right? And then make sure you find out from IT how many devices you can. No one ever tells you this, but I'm telling you this. How many devices that you can log onto the
Wi-Fi.
The Wi-Fi, because it may be limited to 5. So that means a phone, a laptop, a tablet, a TV, and one other thing. Some universities limit you to 3. So this is information you need to know beforehand before you buy those additional electronics. I'm gonna say a do is talk to your roommate beforehand, figure out who's going to bring what.
Yes.
Think about how you're going to decorate your room. Is this someone you're compatible with, like Zoom, talk on the phone? Be mindful of that time period, which is normally the first 2 weeks of the semester, that you can change roommates without a penalty. Right? And for those kids, do not call your parents just because your roommate, didn't make their bed, didn't clean up their side. Like, handle conflict on your own. That's part of growing up, but that's a huge thing with parents now. We call them helicopter parents, swooping in
and saving the
for
day.
every little thing. Parents, let your kids do that on their own. One of the things that I stress more than anything, particularly if this is your first child going to college, is to choose a day out of the week that's your check-in day, right? Okay, you have to call, like my check-in day was Sunday. I had to call home on Sundays before 4 o'clock.
Okay.
And that was just to say, I'm good, I'm okay, this is what's going on. If I didn't call before 4, that could signal something's wrong.
Something's wrong, yeah.
Right,
yeah.
But have that check-in day. I tell parents, if your child normally doesn't kind of contact you every day, but they start contacting you every day, there's something going on. Mm-hmm. But if they don't call, but on that Sunday, they're good. They're
Correct.
having a great time.
Correct.
They are acclimating themselves to the college experience. Give them time before you swoop in.
Yeah.
I do know that a lot of students now have experienced isolation due to COVID. Don't socialize really well, have anxiety, depression, what have you. But there are resources on campus, on all of our campuses, counseling center that you're paying for in your tuition and fees. Encourage your child to go there. And with telebehavioral health, being able to do it on your laptop, on your phone, it takes away the stigma of walking into the counseling center. Because you think, I don't want anybody to see me walking in.
Yeah.
But it removes that stigma, right? Mm-hmm. And all of the resources are there. So, another do is to use the resources.
Use all the
like
resources
there's a health center. If you get sick, you ain't got to call your mama or go home.
Right.
Like, there's a physician on your campus or a nurse practitioner and probably a pharmacy that can dispense your meds. Like, go to student health, go to tutoring, use academic support resources, go to your professor's office hours, sit in front of the class. And a big thing that I say, Kate, you're not going to believe this. I will say, go to class.
Go to class. That's what you're paying for.
How many students don't go?
But that's what you're paying for.
But a lot do not go. I was like, go to class. And, wait till that first day to buy your books. And a lot of institutions now do electronic books. So you want to, wait till that first day, see the syllabus, read the syllabus.
Please read the syllabus.
Professor. So there are a lot of things I can say. I'm going to pause. But, that was something near and dear to my heart, is preparing folks for that college experience, college access. And then once you get there, like, it's just so much to talk about to help students have a more robust experience.
Well, because your college campus is your second home.
It is.
That becomes your home away from home.
Some students, it is home because they don't have a home to go back to.
Get back to, correct. So, that cafeteria is their kitchen. Their other little off locations on campus are their food places. On campus now, they have food banks.
They have so many
things that
when we were in school, we had the cafeteria and Chick-fil-A. Right, I think y'all just had the calf.
We had the calf, and then down the street we had Chicken King.
Universities, institutions have tons of options. You have sit-down restaurants. You have everything from Panda Express to Chick-fil-A to Panera Bread, Pizza Hut, Taco
Burger
Bell,
King, Jason's Deli,
sushi, Subway. Tons of opportunity, tons of amenities. Like, students are choosing where they go to school.
Absolutely,
based on all of that,
and
not necessarily majors and academic profile.
Correct.
All of that is there. So use your resources.
I mean, but again, your campus is your second home. That's your place that, you live, you work, because you go to class. That's your work. You have your friends there who become lifelong friends. Some become
That's your
brothers and
community.
sisters. That's your community. That's your support system. There again, you have the medical center. You have the counseling center. You also get assigned student orientation leaders your freshman year that you can
Peer
reach out
mentoring
to.
programs, yes.
And again, they have office hours.
Yes.
And some work 24 hours because they have a hotline. And if you don't feel safe, they do have those safe havens where you could go on campus
Yes.
to feel safe or to have an outlet. So, when we were in school, we didn't have all of those resources. We had to find solace and solitude in someone, or go to church, or walk around campus aimlessly, and somebody will look at you and say, "What's going on with you?" But now we have, we had the health center and things like that, but right now the schools have so many other resources. They built up so much to make a foundation for students when they come on campus. It's home. It is home. So let's talk about some don'ts as a freshman, as an educator that you have seen. Let's talk about those don'ts.
This is a do and a don't rolled into one.
Okay.
Okay. Do not hang around people who don't have any goals and dreams, right? Your circle should be smarter than you. I tell parents, if you go visit your child and you meet their friends and their friends look like they are not going to class, your child is not going to class, right? So that's a do and a don't rolled into one.
Okay.
Another don't, particularly for young women, is do not respond to that text that comes in at 2 a.m.
Say that again.
No, just do not respond. Do not walk anywhere, particularly when the sun goes down, by yourself, that's male or female. Walk in groups. Everybody says that, but you have that one off, that person who's going to the library and you get robbed, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what type of institution you are, that you're
Crime
attending.
is everywhere.
Yeah, anywhere.
Unfortunately.
People prey on college students because they know you have money. They know you have electronics. Do not overeat in the cafeteria and those places on campus, because you're going to guaranteed to gain 15 pounds.
That freshman 15,
right? That freshman 15. Like,
yeah, that is
don't
true.
eat everything because the cafeteria is all you can eat. Doesn't mean eat it all, right? Another don't is to I'm gonna say in this way: don't be afraid to step out of your box.
And talk about that a little
your
bit.
Comfort
Expand
zone.
on that.
Like I tell students, join at least one student organization your freshman year. Don't overdo it. One is good, and let that first one be academically focused. Like if you are a biology major, you join a biology club. If you're an engineering major, you join the engineering club. Or kind of get involved in like hall council with your community, right? But definitely step out of your box, your comfort zone. College is what you make it. And if you are a recluse and you're staying in your room, you're not going to have a good experience. Another don't is don't go home every weekend. I don't care if you go to school in Charlotte and your mom and daddy are in Charlotte.
Oh my God.
Don't go home every weekend. You've got to grow.
And be away from them.
Right.
And morph into your own individual self.
Do not procrastinate. Do not procrastinate. Do not procrastinate. There is going to come a time in your college career where you have a paper due again on a Monday at 9 a.m. And if you wait until Sunday at 9 a.m. to start writing it, it's not going to be good. It's going to be filled with errors and it's going to be late. So do not procrastinate. Do not procrastinate. Another don't is do not wait until your sophomore or junior year to intern. Like start interning the summer after your freshman year. Start going into Career Services Center your first year, because there are going to be opportunities for you to do meet and greets with employers, recruiters. You're going to learn how to do your resume. You're going to learn from upperclassmen on what are the best internships that are out there. So start going into Career Services your freshman year. Do not wait to intern. If you have access and a network that can get you at a company that you desire to go as soon as possible. Because that experience is what's going to, help you get employed at when it's time to graduate. I see students now who take full advantage of that lock in a job December before they made it, they graduate.
Absolutely.
Because they have been what I call intentional about their college experience.
Absolutely. I'm going to say it do not fall off your studying during homecoming and during being initiated into a Greek-led organization. Do not let that affect you, because back in the day, during homecoming, some professors on purpose gave a paper during homecoming week. And either you had to turn it in on that Thursday, or, that you had your parameters, but they put it during homecoming week. So do not let your time management falter during that time, because that's when things get hectic. And then also, do not wait until 3 weeks before the semester is over to say, oh, what else can I do in order to get my grade up? It's too late then. Go ahead and take that L and go ahead and get that registration book again and sign up again, because it's not going to happen. So that's one of my do nots, because I've seen so many people, oh, it's homecoming, I'm not going to class. That's the time you need to go to class, because those are some of the times you get the pop quizzes, or you get the extra assignments, or you get the presentation dates for what's to come. And then when you get into class that next week after homecoming, you done partied all week long, you looking crazy at the professor like, say what? And then after you become initiated into an organization, you just think, oh, I'm a member of thus and such. My teacher, my professor is a part of this. They're going to look out. No. You still got to do your work. So those are two of my do nots. Let's summarize. I want you to talk to the freshmen from an educator hat standpoint. Give some encouraging words or whatever you want to say, and I'm going to let you end this episode.
Wow, probably the most encouraging thing I can say is to be yourself. Like, be your authentic self when you get on campus. Don't get caught up in any drama, particularly social media drama, what you see in other students doing, an image they are portraying. Just be you. Don't get into anything, I call it like stupid stuff that gets you in trouble with student conduct, like roommate conflicts or something really simple, because a student conduct record can follow you just as long as a criminal record. And that's something they do not tell you. So be your authentic self. Don't get caught up in anything stupid, any drama. I'm going to say it again. Go to class. Take full advantage of all the resources, from academic support to mental health support to even your spiritual being. And then most importantly, communicate with your whoever's at home, your guardian, your parents, the grandmother, the auntie who sent you to college. Make sure you keep them in the loop of what's happening. So if something does go down, that they know that you are okay. Have that schedule of communication.
That check-in day.
We've had a lot of campus shootings.
Yes.
Over the past few years, I've been on campus, 2 different campuses that had campus shootings, and the parents is who I think about first, right? So have that check-in. Give it your all. When you start out strong, your freshman year, I like to do this analogy. When you start out strong, right, it's easy to keep climbing, right? But when you don't and you fall into a hole, is it easy to climb out of the hole? No. Right? So start out strong with those easier classes your freshman year. Get that high GPA. So when you get into your major and things get a little more intense, that you have room. But go to class, do your best every day. Use all of the resources and be your authentic self. Protect your mental health.